Ten,
Tech Studio.
7, 6,
Stomach
5,
Camera 1, Mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Tech Studio.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Brielle Winsor.
And I'm Ella Boissonneault. On today's show, Dylan Weiss invites us to look at the Canada Winter Games. Jillian Andrews tells us about the recently performed play Legally Blonde. Sophia Chvojka brings us to the court with MCHS's senior boys basketball team. Haley Sweet went behind the scenes of our cheer team at the most recent pep rally. And Matthias Kidd presents us the latest installment part of his ongoing series, displaying the Cosmetology lab as well. Join us for an in-studio interview with MCHS cheer coach Amanda Bulger and learn more about the upcoming provincial cheerleading championships. But first, here's our top story.
Art class is a largely adored option course here at MCHS. Kids enjoy having a creative outlet at school, and the welcoming environment has attracted many students to the program over the years. In art, students are able to experiment with a variety of styles and mediums. My co-host Ella Boissonneault takes us into the art room for more information about the class.
MCHS has had an art program ever since the doors first opened in 1994. Since then, the art students have been expressing themselves and their talents with the guidance of our art teachers throughout the years.
I have been at MCHS since 2002, so minus 2 maternity leaves, so about 20 years.
I've done it every year since elementary, which is about 8 years by now.
So around 6 years now, including high school art, where I was able to do it at more of a professional standard.
Art may be relaxing, but students are still expected to meet the requirements for the course. This includes handing in and completing your monthly sketchbook assignments. These usually are assigned to help with skills such as color values, contrast, movement, rhythm, pattern, etc., as well as the main projects given and chosen by Mrs. Chvojka, which can range from all mediums of all types.
Grade 9 and 10, it's a little bit more structured, but then 20 and 30, you can allow students to find where their strengths lie, and then they can kind of go in that direction. So that's what I appreciate, is see where students can push themselves and see where their talents are lying and where their imagination is going to go. So that's really cool.
I really like anything with clay because I get to form it exactly how I want it, and I feel like it's really personalized.
I really like the historical recreation project that we got to do. It was something that we were able to just kind of like expand upon and put into our own little art style, and it's really fun to do something like that.
I really like watercolor. I've been really into that lately.
Students are encouraged to expand and skill build in many different ways as their creativity flourishes.
I feel like it's a really relaxing class to take, and I feel like it's a good way for me to express myself and my interests through my art. My favorite part of the art program at MCHS is the way Ms. Chvojka teaches it. She teaches it in a really easy to understand way, and I like all the variety of the projects.
I think my favorite part about the art room itself and just being at art is going to be Ms. Chvojka. She's really fun to be around, and she really helps students.
It's my home away from home, this environment. It's organized chaos. It always seems messy to me, but I know where things are, and students just know too. They kind of get over, once they come in here and figure things out, it's like everybody just comes in and does what they do.
The MCHS art program is a community of people who love what they do and are invested within their work. Their spirit keeps our school thriving in its creativity. And with that, this is Ella Boissonneault reporting for MCTV News.
Now officially in spring, it is expected for the sun to shine and the snow to start melting. Make sure to store your snow boots and gear away in a safe place to remember for next year. As the temperatures rise, MCTV's meteorologist Avery Pelletier is here to tell us the temperatures we can look forward to during spring break.
Thanks, Ella. So let's take a look at the current conditions across our country. Let's just get started over in the Atlantic provinces. So right now, currently, it's definitely showing that spring has started. We've got a lot of provinces above zero. We've got St. John's at 0 with a mix of sun and cloud, maybe a little snow. Halifax at 2 and with snow, and Montreal and Toronto both with some showers. Montreal at 5 degrees and Toronto at 7. Now let's take a look at the rest of the country. So we've got White Horse with a bit of snow at 4 degrees, Yellowknife at -9 with a mix of sun and cloud. Iqaluit, unfortunately, still stuck a little colder at -19 with a mix of sun and cloud. Vancouver, warm as always, with rain as always at 9 degrees. Regina at -1 with a mix of sun and cloud, and Winnipeg at -2 with a mix of sun and cloud. Now let's take a look at our conditions across the province. So currently we have Fort McMurray at 1 degree, high level, the only area right now dipping below into the negatives at -8 with a mix of sun and cloud. Edmonton, nice and sunny at 7 degrees. Grand Prairie at 2 with a mix of sun and cloud. Red Deer also with a mix of sun and cloud at 4 degrees. Calgary at 7 degrees. Banff at 7 degrees. Calgary at 6 degrees, Calgary at 6 degrees, and Medicine Hat at 6 degrees. Goodness, sorry. And Jasper at 9 degrees. Now let's take a look at our current conditions. Right now it is 4 degrees with winds going southwest at 7 kilometers an hour, a relative humidity of 64%. And now obviously that we have passed the equinox, we're getting more sunlight per day than we have that sundown time. So it's great. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. So things are going to be staying pretty relatively chilly for the next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Avery. Recently held in PEI was the Canada Winter Games, where athletes from across Canada come to compete in events to prove their skills and training have paid off. Our very own reporter, Dylan Weiss, recently attended and competed in said event. There, he interviewed the athletes and explored the aspects of the games.
With the 2023 Canada Winter Games in PEI officially completed, the competitors from all over Canada have taken part of some of the unique traditions within the Games, including the provincial item trading.
That's definitely a new experience that I'm kind of happy about, because when you're able to trade pins, you're able to kind of bring home a little bit of each province back to yours.
I find it really cool that we're trading all these things and that we place so much importance on these small pins, but they look really cool and I appreciate all of them.
Pins, I haven't been doing very well at all. I think I've got a couple provinces. Same thing with the clothing trading. I've not been doing very well. I think I traded my sweater for another Nova Scotia sweater.
The University of Prince Edward Island was the gracious host that housed the athletes within dorm-style rooms with upwards of 16 athletes sharing a dorm.
Well, it's cool when you're outside of the dorm, but once you get into the dorm and you realize there's only like 2 bars of soap for like 16 people, it's a bit chaotic. But honestly, if you ignore all the bad stuff, it's kind of fun.
It's definitely a new experience to have like all these 15 different people trying to share the same space and and they're from different sports as well, so you may not know them as much.
I mean, I got lucky because I'm only sharing with 3 other people, and we've got 6 beds for the 4 of us. They're different than I expected, but overall, I'm impressed.
To qualify for an event like this, it takes an incredible amount of time, dedication, and training. But just how much time have these athletes dedicated to the Canada Games specifically?
I think I was training for almost half a year now, just for the Canada Games. I feel very confident in myself. Just as soon as I get on the mat, I just need to cool my nerves and I'll be able to put out my best performance.
I've been training in biathlons for 10 or 11 years. I honestly didn't have many expectations going in, but I exceeded those.
Well, I've been training specifically for the Canada Games for almost exactly a year since Valentine's Day. And I've been doing karate for about the last 6 or 7 years. I was pretty confident coming here, and I think I represented PEI pretty well.
With over 3,600 participants throughout 20 sports on one island, athletes were bound to see a sport that they enjoyed watching.
I had never watched ringette, had never watched wheelchair basketball, and I got a chance to watch those this week. Wheelchair basketball is a lot more intense than I thought it was, and ringette is a really cool mix of hockey and some other things, and it was just really cool to watch and learn about.
I watched the wheelchair basketball, which I didn't know would be as interesting as it was, but it really was pretty cool to watch them.
From Prince Edward Island all the way back to our very own studio, for MCTV News, Dylan Weiss reporting.
Here are your school announcements for Thursday, March 23rd. Attention grade 11 girls. Weiss is a 6-week paid summer research internship at the University of Alberta. Students must have an at least 85% average to be considered. See Ms. Christensen if you have any questions. If you are looking for hands-on work opportunities, then the RAP program is for you. Dow, Shell, and Sherritt are looking for students who are interested in a career as an electrician, millwright, steam fitter, or pipe fitter. The application deadline is early May, and resumes and cover letters are required. See Ms. Loussard for more information. Spring break starts tomorrow. Take some time off and enjoy the break. School starts again on April 3rd. We'll see you then. For these and all other school information, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging onto the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, or by following the school on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. As well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching MCTV Morinville.
The drama program here at MCHS has put on many productions over the years. The most recent musical performed by the drama team was Legally Blonde. Jillian Andrews takes us along as she goes through with discussing the cast about the feelings around the production and many more aspects of the play.
MCHS is known for our high-quality musical productions, and this year's performance of Legally Blonde was no exception. With show-stopping vocals and groundbreaking choreography, Legally Blonde was a smash success here at Morinville Community Cultural Center. This story of a passionate young woman captured the hearts of the community and left a memorable mark at MCHS.
It starts with sorority girl Elle Woods, and she believes that her boyfriend Warner is going to propose to her, but instead he dumps her and says that he needs somebody more serious. But then she meets this guy named Emmett Forrest, and he helps her study, and eventually she gets an internship.
So she goes through the struggles of trying to break the stereotype of being that dumb blonde, and throughout the process at Harvard Law, she finds who she is as an individual woman.
Any grand MCHS production requires months of extensive commitment from its cast and crew. By holding auditions in early September, Legally Blonde was able to rehearse for 4 months prior to its 3-night debut in December of 2022.
It took us 4 months of rehearsals, 5 days a week, and even on the weekends. There were 2 hours every day.
Rehearsals were always really fun. We had our amazing vocal coach, Riley, working real hard to get our vocals good.
We started with Riley doing music rehearsals and singing through some of the songs at the beginning of the show, and then our choreo team started working on choreo.
In 2021, their musical was performed in April, and last year's production of Newsies went up during May long weekend. With only 3 months to prepare for Legally Blonde, one couldn't help but compare it to the previous contrasting production.
In Newsies, it was all like big scenes, lots of people, everyone working hard. Legally Blonde, there was a lot more individual work.
A lot of it revolves around like girl power and female empowerment, and I think that's a really big movement, and that's pretty different from Newsies.
The experience was very different. With Newsies, we were together like all the time, so we were really like newsboys.
And it was also based in like the 1899, which is a lot different from Legally Blonde, which was early 2000s.
Despite the show closing over 2 months ago, cast and crew alike can't help but reminisce of their times on and off stage.
My favorite part of the show is just like getting to go out and do the bows and getting the reward you deserve for all the hard work you put in.
It was full of amazing people and dedicated and passionate artists.
I would do it again in a heartbeat, honestly.
Nothing brings together talented artists like putting your blood, sweat, and tears into a musical production. Legally Blonde has inspired the MCHS community through the drive of its performers and the overall success of the production. Reporting for MCTV News, Jillian Andrews.
Welcome back. Here with all the latest in the world of sports, including last night's score in the NHL, NBA, and MLB, is our very own sports reporter, Matthias Kidd.
Thanks, Ella. In a relatively quiet night in the NHL, Sidney Crosby netted his 30th in a 5-2 victory over Makar and the Avs. Connor McDavid scored his 60th, which is the most goals scored by an Oiler since Wayne Gretzky, who scored 62. McDavid's OT winner lifted the Oil over the Yotes 4-3 in OT. Turning to the NBA, the Pacers topped the Raptors 118-114. Luka Doncic had a 30-point night as the Mavs fell to the Warriors 127-125. The 76ers cruised to an easy 116-91 victory over the Bulls. Giannis and the Bucks stormed through the Spurs 130-94, and the Knicks fell to the Heat 127-120. Here's the MLB spring training scores. The Blue Jays flew over the O's 2-1. The Braves took down the Detroit Tigers 5-3. The Tampa Bay Rays had a good game, defeating the Phillies 6-2. The Astros beat the Mets 5-2, and the Nats took down the Yankees 5-2. Turning to MCHS sports, the senior boys basketball team capped off their season with a trip to Wetaskiwin to attend the ASAA Basketball Provincial Tournament. Unfortunately, they lost all of the games, first to St. Joe's from Red Deer, 102-61. In the second match, they fell to St. Joe's from Grand Prairie 85-47. Finally, they lost to Winston Churchill 59 in a close one, 59-52. Despite their 3 losses at provincials, the senior boys basketball team had an amazing season to get there. Sophia Chvojka had a chance to talk to Coach Lassard and several players earlier this season and brings us this report.
MCHS has a multitude of talented sports teams, one of our brightest being the senior boys basketball team.
Basketball is my favorite sport. I quit hockey and like volleyball I'm not doing anymore just so I can play basketball.
I have a real passion for the game. I love the game, and I think it's one of the best games to coach.
Basketball is it means a lot to me actually. It's basically all I do.
Our school continuously produces stand-up students who work together and put effort into everything they do.
And MCHS is a great school to coach at. We have great students, great student athletes.
I think it's great. I like the guys a lot, and Mr. Lassard's a pretty good coach. It's hard on us, but it's pretty fun. I like it.
It's tough. You have high standards. If you don't make time for anything, you run again.
Our basketball team does not just create athletes, it also creates strong friendships and connections between students.
Just developing relationships with your players, you get to see them grow up.
Honestly, the guys that are playing, it's a really great group of guys, and we're all good friends.
Basketball is just what I do. I love being with the guys.
Getting together with a bunch of friends and playing.
Along with friendships, the senior team fosters growth within the students, both mentally and physically.
I'm learning to get a lot more physical when I'm playing and to keep my cool mentally.
Yeah, for sure. Mentally and physically, it's been a great growth experience for me.
Personally, I kind of took a step back from last year, but me as an individual, I've grown a bit.
I try and learn something every year when I'm coaching. There's so much about the game and about dealing with people that you can learn as a coach.
The MCHS senior team is a talented group of people who, with hard work and determination, continue to make our school community proud. For MCTV News, Sophia Chvojka reporting.
Welcome back. We are just over 3 weeks away from Cheer Provincials, and this year the event is being hosted at the Morinville Leisure Centre. Here with more information on the event is MCHS Cheer Coach Amanda Bulger. Hi, Ms. Bulger. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So what are you most looking forward to about Provincials being hosted in Morinville?
You know what? We're really looking forward to bringing cheer to the community. We have 3 very successful cheer teams in Morinville at St. Kateri, Primo, and MCHS. So it'll just be a nice opportunity to share cheer with the rest of the town and hopefully spike some more interest for our teams in the future.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So what kind of preparation has to occur before the competition?
There has been a lot. This has started months and months ago. Actually, we had to put in a bid prior to, we were actually supposed to host provincials in 2021. And then when COVID hit and things were canceled and stuff, we kind of got pushed back. So we're finally getting to host it now. So the planning started way back then, and being able to, we had to secure a venue and a DJ and photographers and just all kinds of caterer for the banquet, things like that. And then now it's just putting everything kind of into action. So I've been in close contact with the ASAA. Our website actually just went live today for the teams to start registering. Nice. So the teams can register now and people can buy tickets online. MCHS students get a special ticket price. They can buy their tickets on Power School under the parent portal. And so just lots of things happening and it's really exciting.
So how are the events of the day arranged? What's the schedule like?
So on Friday, the teams are going to come. Actually, we're going to start everything here. We're going to have our banquet starting at 3 o'clock. So from 3 till 5, we're here at MCHS in the gym having the banquet. And then the teams are going to move over to the Leisure Center. And we're going to start their check-in and their warm-up and getting everything ready for that. And then Friday night, we start the event at 7 o'clock. And it should run till about 9 o'clock. Then Saturday morning, the elementary junior high event is going to happen in the morning. That's part of the Alberta Cheer Association. And then we're going to get ready to host the day 2 of the high school event. Probably, I think it's set to start at about 1:30.
Okay.
So yeah, and then awards will happen after that. So
Nice.
What happens with the high school event is it's a 2-day run. So they perform on Friday and then again on Saturday, and they take 50% of their score on, or it's a 50-50 split.
Nice.
That's how that works.
So how many routines does each team perform?
So each team will perform one routine. Most teams perform one routine. They're either in an intermediate division, a game day division, advanced all girl or advanced all gender. This year we have two schools that are going to be competing in two divisions. Lillian Osborne's in intermediate and game day, and we're also in game day and advanced all girl. So most teams perform one routine, but they do two runs. They do the Friday and the Saturday. Okay, cool. And then we're going to be competing in two divisions. So we get to perform 4 times over the 2 days.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So for those who aren't familiar with like cheerleading, how are the teams and routines judged?
So each routine is 2.5 minutes long. We're judged on dance, tumbling, jumps, stunts, and then just overall impression, difficulty of the stunts, how well we execute the stunts and the jumps and everything. So there's a lot of different things. There's a rubric that they follow, and there's all kinds of good stuff that we have to incorporate into our routines.
Cool. So if people want to take in the events, where should they go to buy tickets, and how much do tickets cost?
Okay, so they can come to, or they can go to the MCHS website, and there's a link on there now. If you just click on the poster, it'll take you to a link. You can either scan the QR code that's on the poster, or you can go to the link to buy the tickets. So because there are 3 events, attending one event will cost you $15. If you want to attend 2 events, it's $25, and then $35 if you want the whole weekend experience for the high school and elementary and junior high events. But MCHS students get, they pay $15 for the full weekend. Oh, cool. So if they go onto Power School and buy their ticket there, each MCHS student is allowed to buy 1 ticket at the $15 rate. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so kind of an incentive to hopefully get a lot of support and a lot of students out to watch.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now that we've learned about what is upcoming for the MCHS Cheer Team, let's take a look at their past performance during our school's February pep rally. The team's performance was exhilarating and definitely hyped up the crowd. It even included some special guests. Reporter Haley Sweet takes us behind the scenes to get a closer look at how the routines were planned.
For years, our school has been hosting pep rallies to boost school spirit. Our past rally in February, we got a performance from our cheer team and staff members. We got the chance to look at the behind the scenes of planning the routines.
The pep rally didn't take a ton of planning because I had the girls each come up with their own little routine to teach the teachers. So I just kind of had to figure out what music we were going to use and when they were going to come in and stuff like that.
I don't know, I think we put it together probably in about a week, maybe a little bit more. It all happened pretty quick, which was probably a good thing because some of us teachers didn't really have time to back out, I guess. It was like, now or never, we're doing it.
Like that long because each section was pretty short, but all the girls did take time out of their day to choreograph each dance.
Being in high school, students and teachers are often busy with extracurricular and other school-related things, so one of the challenges of planning the cheer routines was getting together and practicing.
I think it was finding the time to teach the teachers their choreography because they're so busy all the time.
Convincing some of the male teachers to want to do it because I had a lot of volunteers, female teachers were all gung-ho to do it. And a lot of the male teachers, they were like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Maybe just getting everybody together we had one practice to do it together as a group, and other than that, we were on our own, and then just coming together. So we were kind of doing it on the fly when it actually came game day.
The athletes, they paired up, and they were the ones that put together their little routine and then taught them to the teachers. They sent them videos over email and stuff like that so they could learn them.
When students were surprised with their teachers performing the cheers, the energy in the gym was lifted and school spirit was presented.
I think everyone got a good laugh out of it.
Having that connection between the teachers and the students is always a good thing, and I think the crowd, when they saw that the teachers were coming out to do the dances, were it's something different, kind of exciting.
Oh, I think it did a lot. I haven't been involved in many pep rallies here before. The heightened state of the gym, I think everybody was really getting into it, and I think it was a great pep rally.
I do think it's important. It just brings everyone together and brings school spirit and stuff.
100%. I think it shows good team spirit and that the students and teachers have a really good relationship together.
I would definitely do it again.
I for sure will do this again.
For MCTV News, Haley Sweet reporting.
After our expansive CTS renos that happened in the past year, there are many things to be updated on. Matthias Kidd brings us along onto his second part of his ongoing series involving the updates. New and improved touches have been made to one of the many areas that have been altered. Our very own Cosmetology lab.
Cosmetology is a class where students can learn how to learn about the well-being for themselves. Recently, the cosmetology room went through a new renovation which transformed it into its all-new specialty. This space creates many new opportunities for the students.
Well, one, learn new skills. We all need to, I think, learn proper hygiene. So we've got hair, nails, skincare, makeup. So the program itself touches upon many areas of taking care of ourselves, and
just allows students to be able to practice what they want for their future career and to get like that hands-on experience of nails and makeup and hair, cutting and coloring and designing, all of that stuff.
Facial stuff, like beauty stuff. So there's a bunch of kind of different things that you can learn about and all that kind of stuff.
And expresses what COS is all about. What are everyone's thoughts on the new room?
What a blessing to have such a facility, one of the top-notch salons, I would say, and it does mimic exactly what you would enter into a real-life hairstyling salon, right? We have a waiting room, we've got
I like it because it's brand new, and last year we didn't have a cosmetology lab, so it was nice actually having something that's realistic to real life cosmetology.
Is all new. If we remember what we had before, the sink was on the opposite side of the classroom, and there were limited spaces for students to work in there, so it just made it really difficult. Now they're all I think there's 24 workstations in the cosmetology room with high-end equipment again, the chairs are what you would see in a salon. The sinks are all lined up where they need to be in that same room to be able to offer actual full-on salon experience.
And with that, the cosmetology class looks to have a bright future ahead. With the renovation going successful, everyone is excited for the future. For MCTV News, Matthias Kidd.
And that's it for another episode of MCTV News. Join us after spring break for reports on the Zones basketball competition, preparations for MCHS's spring play, our school's student council, Ash Wednesday, and the ongoing fundraising project for the Chalice School. All this along with the weekly weather update and sports recap coming up on April 12th. So I'm going to BC on spring break, and I need some music to listen to for the drive. What have you been listening to lately?
Shakira. Hips don't lie. 100%.
I love Shakira. I mean, her hips, they don't lie.
They don't. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what other song do you like of hers?
Is it the Whenever, Wherever one, I think?
That one's a good one,
That
too.
one is good.
Because, whenever, wherever, I would go whenever, wherever for Shakira,
Me too.
From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Brielle Winsor.
And I'm Ella Boissonneault. Stay classy, MCHS.